Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your August 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bull sing as we see what the tarot has to say. And excuse my voice, I am getting over the flu. So let's see here. Aries. August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. Aries. August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Aries. August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. Aries. August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Excuse me. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Emperor, which is us shining through, loud and proud. And then we have the Hierophant. So if you're born on the cusp with Taurus, or if you have Taurus within your chart, this is going to come through quite profoundly during this time. In our inner self, we have the King of Pentacles, amplifying this Taurus energy, but also Earth sign energy in and of itself, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And we have the 10 of Wands. So there's a great burden being lifted as we embrace prosperity that we might not have thought could be ours. In our hearts, we have the 8 of Pentacles, hard work paying off, and we have the 4 of Wands, celebration, success, bounty, and beauty coming forward. We have the Ace of Pentacles, a gift we are absolutely taking, and we have the 6 of Wands, a celebration of that gift in the public arena. So taking this gift, we're going to be doing this more internally. There's going to be some sort of internal understanding that we're coming to during this time that starts to open up doorways for us and pathways. This isn't going to be as significant, us taking this gift, as if it was in with the same card, okay, right here in the public arena. But it's still going to be quite significant for us as we see ourselves working towards something that we've dreamed about for a really long time. And it's almost as if we're coming back to who we once were. We're seeing the passion and the power and the prosperity of what we had once desired coming back into life again. So let's look at the energy we are to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Aries is to be mindful of? August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries. And that's the chariot. Now this is Cancer energy, but this is also telling us to be very mindful of letting our subconscious self or our conscious self get the better of us, and also being manipulated by people who speak to one aspect of ourselves or the other. They're not going to be speaking to the full person that we are. They're going to be either speaking to our subconscious wants and needs, or they're going to be speaking to our immediate wants and needs. And it's going to actually seem too good to be true. It's going to be like, oh, okay, this is everything that I desire. This is everything that I want. And this person is going to be egging us forward in a very kind of, it's going to be a manipulative way. So do be mindful of that. And let's look at the chakra energy around us. Aries, August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Aries, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Clarity, the third eye chakra. So our clarity is coming forward. The third eye chakra is an awakening of understanding. It is intensity. There is this sense of, I'm stepping into my power. What I haven't seen for so long is starting to become part of me again. And that's very much part of what we see within this reading, is that what has laid dormant, what we have been crafting for and working towards, and what we really have dedicated ourselves to, really starts to come forward. And there's clarity within our third eye chakra. Excuse me. There's clarity within ourselves. If we trust ourselves enough, we are going to see that clarity moving us in a direction that we hadn't anticipated, that we didn't think was possible anymore. And I'm just going to take a sip of water. And it leads us to the Emperor. It leads us to our rooted self, and to the Hierophant, the claiming of our power and our desires. So the Emperor is the very essence of who we are, of where we want to be, of how we are moving forward within our lives. And there's an intensity, there's a determination, there's a focus, and there's a honing of our skills coming into play. With the Hierophant coming forward, it's saying, what is it about you that needs to be seen? What is it about you that needs to be brought to the forefront? Who is it, Aries, that you are that has been shut away for too long and needs that voice to come forward? And it's actually going to be a groundbreaking discovery. It's going to be kind of stepping back to the person that you once were. It's going to be stepping back to the ideas and ideals that you once had. And it's going to be very much a sense of, I am not defeated. I am the victor, not the victim. I am moving myself forward in such profound dedication, in such magnificent understanding that nothing is going to get in my way. This is also saying that we're going to find ourselves really looking at a more traditional route. It doesn't mean that it has to be anybody's tradition but our own. We're going to find that rituals, sacred things, mean a lot to us. And again, it doesn't mean anybody's dogma. It means things that we do every single day that bring us centered within our world, within ourselves, within our passion and our discovery. So during this time, if we have a routine, this is going to be a time where that routine really kind of amplifies us, really brings us forward to new blessings and new bounties that we hadn't seen before. And with that routine, it's saying here, don't get stuck in that. Don't think, okay, everything has to be done just like this. Have flexibility, have a greater understanding, but also know that as you are embracing what it is that you want, there's going to be ideas coming forward that happen because you're going about things not really necessarily thinking about them, but putting your time and your energy into it, and then something all of a sudden becomes clear. There's some sort of revelation that opens up, and that leads us to our inner self with the Ten of Wands, the putting down of the burdens that we've been carrying, putting down of the hurts and the pains and the disappointment, but also in our inner self, we've been carrying a lot of passions, desires, wants, needs that we have for the outside world. And this is always the thing that says, well, one day I'll get to this. One day I'll do this. One day I'll embrace this. And this is a time where we need to put down the burdens and say, why not today? Why cannot I embrace what I desire now? The passion, the brilliance, the beauty that is me. This is also telling us to be very mindful, because during this time, we're going to have a tendency to want to take on everybody else's responsibilities, to say, don't worry, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, until all of a sudden you're just weighed down with not only everything that you need to do for yourself, but everything that should be other people's responsibilities. And it leads us to this place within our rooted self where we're going to think, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what, is required of me. This is what I've seen people do before. This is what I need to do now. And what we're actually going to be seeing here is us breaking harmful patterns. And we can call them curses if we want to be melodramatic, but we're going to see ourselves breaking the patterns in our lives that we were raised with, that we hold on to within ourselves, that don't bring us joy, that don't elevate ourselves. And it doesn't mean that everything we do in our lives has to bring us joy, but it does mean that it has to move us forward in a purpose. And if that purpose is only resentment, is only piling on the burdens, that's going to be something that we become very mindful of during this time, because we need to embrace our prosperity, our wealth, and our success. And we also need to understand that us having this wealth, this prosperity, this success is an okay thing. So often we pile on the burdens, we pile on everything else, because it's kind of like, if I'm a good person, then I'll be able to have the rewards. If I do everything for everybody else, people will see it and people will reward me, or I will be rewarded by the divine. And during this time, what we're going to see is being a little bit selfish, not completely egotistical, but a little bit selfish, a little bit, I get to put myself first. I get to look at what I desire. I get to look at what is important for me, starts to elevate ourselves, starts to bring in the prosperity, starts to call forward wealth. This isn't a time where we need to sacrifice for everybody else. This is a time where we need to find that balance. And as we find that balance, we call wealth, prosperity, and ideas forward. And a lot of knowledge comes to us within our dreams. A lot of clarity comes to us as we are embracing the realm between worlds, and as we are embracing our greater insights and our greater passions. This leads us then to the Eight of Pentacles. Our hard work is paying off within our hearts. Emotionally, we've been working really hard towards something, and this could be something that we've been building to our whole entire lives. And once we get there, it almost feels like a tower time. It almost feels like our world has shaken and everything has changed, because it has. We start to see that the hard work, the dedication, the 10,000 hours, the sacrifices, the belief in ourselves, it has a purpose and it has a meaning. And our heart really starts to call that forward. And our heart really starts to be changed by that. There's something about wealth and prosperity. And this isn't a time where we need to judge wealth the same way everybody else does. It isn't how, lush our bank accounts are, though I do wish, overflowing bank accounts for every single one of you. What it is here is how happy I am with my world. How hard am I working towards building something meaningful, something prosperous, something bountiful for me? Am I striving towards the unachievable? Am I always pushing the carrot out so I'll never be satisfied? Or am I saying, you know what, where I stand now, what I have achieved, what I have called forward within my life, that's success. And I'm going to hone the success and multiply the success in a way that hasn't been clear to me, because we're taught in this world to always be pushing, always be wanting something, wanting the next best thing, wanting something new, wanting something shinier and brighter. And this is a time where we are going to see the cultivation of our own beauty within our world. And that brings us to a place of celebration. That brings us to a place of the Four of Wands. This is the Minor Arcana marriage card, as is, excuse me, as is the Hierophant. There's something here that our hearts are married to. It doesn't mean that we have to be married, though we may very well be during this time. Or we might find somebody who we have this soul connection to. What it means is there's something during this time that's coming forward that is our passion and our desire. It's something that calls to us. It's something that guides us in a way that we hadn't expected. And it calls us into a place of power, into a place of understanding, into a place of balance of the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves. It's saying here, nothing about you can be ignored. It's saying here, what do I dedicate myself to? and why. Again, what is the sacred? What is the routine that is the most meaningful, and why is that? And how is that moving me forward towards more? And it brings us then, as we start to realize this within our hearts, emotionally we come to these understandings. Inwardly, we start to see our power, and we start to relieve ourselves of so many burdens that we hold on to that just weigh us down, that it's just kind of like carrying rocks up a hill. Here, it's carrying, sticks. But what we're going to see is that as we release it, we start to come to a place of feeling more at home within ourselves. We start to come to a place of creativity, of passion, and desire. It leads us to the Ace of Pentacles. It leads us to bounty and success and prosperity. It leads us to God's source spirit, however you see the divine in the universe, handing us a gift in the public arena and saying, this is for you. And we have the ewes, the lambs, right down here in front of the big house. This is for you. What is it that you want from your life? What is it that you celebrate? What is it that you desire? What is it that is the prosperity that guides your life? And what does that mean for you? Because my prosperity and your prosperity might be very, very different. But they're both sacred, and they're both powerful because they come from the heart. They come from what we desire within life. How are we opening up our blessings? How are we moving ourselves forward towards our success? And how is that changing us? How is that guiding us? It leads us to the Six of Wands. It leads us to a place where we're able to celebrate ourselves instead of putting ourselves down, instead of doubting ourselves. And what's so interesting here is that every single section has fire and earth sign. Okay? We have fire and earth and fire, earth and fire, fire and earth. Nothing during this time is going to be without its repercussions in the waking world. Nothing during this time is going to be by accident, though it might feel that way. This is a time where we need to learn and we need to embrace a celebration of our hearts, our souls, and ourselves. Excuse me. And this is a time, if we can do this, where we will see ourselves elevated in a way that we've been working so hard for and we thought was always going to be out of reach. But the clarity comes. And the clarity comes through the balance of the self and the taking of the gifts and the harmonizing of what we desire within our lives. And it moves us forward. The essence of ourselves is coming forward during this time. We can ignore it, absolutely. But if we are ready to receive it, and if we are ready to embrace the power that guides us, this can be a time of unimagined bounty. Now, our subconscious energy to be mindful of during this time is strength. This is Leo energy. This is also saying be very mindful of what you consider strong, because we can consider the atypical, idea of strength, the big muscles, the brute force, as being true strength. This is going to be the time where it's the calm, gentle love, where it's the quiet understanding, where it's the ear that listens, and it's the person who stands in the midst of a storm. Maybe not tall, but weathers the storm bravely and boldly. It leads us then to our subconscious chakra self, and it's forgiveness, the heart chakra. When the heart chakra comes up with forgiveness, it's not only saying to forgive others, though that's important. It's saying here to forgive the self, to forgive us for the mistakes that we have made, for the hurts that we have gone through, for the pains and the disappointments. It is time to forgive, and it's time to let us move forward in blessing and in joy, because we forgive the past and we embrace the now. We embrace the blessings and the power of the heart that comes forward. Our subconscious, rooted self is the chariot. Now we have to be mindful of the chariot, because we can be taken advantage of that way, where people speak to one aspect of ourselves over the other, where people, want to manipulate. Here with the chariot, if we let our ideas move us forward, we rise like the hot air balloon. We rise above the clouds. We rise above the doubts and the fears. And we start to see things in this great arcing view that we hadn't thought of before. We didn't think could be a part of ourselves. And it moves us then to our subconscious inner self, which is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is saying, yes, there's more work to do, but celebrate the now. There's a rejoice that needs to be done with the here and the now, with the understanding of a job well done, without always pushing it out to tomorrow and tomorrow. It is today. Embrace it. Revel in it. Look at your skills instead of saying, oh my gosh, they're not good enough. Look at them for the beautiful blessings that they are. And look at yourself for the beautiful blessing that you are. And take in that bounty. This isn't a time to look at the vast overview, though our rooted self is calling us to do that in our inner self. We have to look at it one step at a time. So we're going to need to find that balance. It leads us then to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the King of Pentacles coming through again. Prosperity, success, bounty, claiming the throne, knowing what we desire. The sacred masculine energy is going to be very important to us during this time. Harnessing that energy, focusing this energy, opening up the door, and leading us forward. This is a time where blessings come, if we are brave enough to take them, if we are brave enough to mold them, if we are brave enough to trust our own voice and our own desire. It leads us then to our subconscious public self. And that is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, for me, is vampiric energy. We see what needs to be moved, what needs to be changed, what is taken away. But what we need to see is the blessing that we have. What we need to see is the beauty that is a part of us. How we are going to move and change these blessings so that they let the energy flow. They let bounty flow. They let abundance come in instead of stagnating us, instead of denying us. In the subconscious public arena, that's going to be very important. We're going to want to downplay ourselves. And we're going to think, oh, I can't have this. This is a time to release vampiric energy. This is a time to clear house. This is a time to remodel. This is a time to do the things that we always say we're going to do. This is a time to go and do and embrace and become. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power of ourselves and the blessings that are coming forward. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.